It's time for Living with Victory, a program of hope and encouragement brought to you by Living with Victory Ministries and listeners like you. Now, here are your hosts, Laureen and Tony Giorgio, with today's message of perseverance.
Welcome to Living with Victory, where life isn't about waiting for the storms to pass. It's about learning to have peace, joy, and victory in the midst of your storm, because Jesus is your umbrella. So keep dancing in that rain. Hi, this is Tony Giorgio. Welcome to another edition of Living with Victory. And really, I want to thank all of you listeners for your support. We really appreciate it. And we want, from the bottom of our hearts, we thank you because we couldn't be here without you. We do love hearing from you, your praise reports this week and your prayer requests. And all of that is so helpful to us and fills us that we're here doing what God has told us to do. So you continue that, okay? And feedback on the program. Listen, we need to know if we're helping you. We'd love to know how things are going, good or bad. If you like the program or find something that wasn't good, let us know. It's okay. We do have an offer right now going if you want to email us for it. And remember, send us your snail mail or we're not going to be able to get it to you, okay? We have a book right now called God's Love for You by the Reverend Dr. Billy Graham, and it's a tool that will help you, and it has hope and encouragement on every single page for your life. Ask for it by name, God's Love for You by the late Billy Graham, okay? Contacting us real quick, you can go to our email address, livingwithvictory@gmail.com, and write us. Or if you like, you don't have a computer, snail mail is just as good, and that's P.O. Box 1982 in Maggie Valley, North Carolina, 28751, or our website, livingwithvictory.org. Anytime you miss a program, a current program, we are broadcasting on YouTube and GodTube and One Place. So you can go to those either through our website or just directly in there, and you can find the most current program listed and listen to it. You don't have to miss it. Without further delay and chatter on my part, I want to bring up my wonderful sidekick for 51 years, Laureen, who has actually the thought of the day, the topic of the day. Hi, Laureen.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Today, we're going to talk about God's vision or yours. Basically, are you working toward His vision for you, or are you working toward a goal that you set for yourself? Isaiah 35:7, and the burning sand and the mirage shall become a pool, and the thirsty ground springs of water. In the haunt of jackals, where they lay resting, shall be grass with reeds and rushes.
Wow.
You know, when God gives us a vision, He knows we can't do it without Him. He knows we can't take a step without. We can't even take a breath without Him. Let's face it, He's in control of everything. When He gives us a vision, He has to bring us to a point where we can realize that vision and then work it out.
And whose vision is it? Is it ours or was it His? Just like when we started, we go back to that famous restaurant we bought. We had the vision. So many people said, don't do that, but we thought we've got the vision. God's with us. Yeah, we prayed about it, but we wanted to do it at all costs. Believe me, it brought us through the fire and the flames and you name it.
What we learned back then was to do it His way, not ours. You know, we can accept when God says, yes, go for it. You know, we get all excited and enthused and we're ready to go. But then if He says, no, I don't want you to go that way, we need to learn to be obedient and accept it. and not say, but Lord.
And here's from Oswald Chambers, okay, a little something that propelled us to do this because of what we're going through right now in our vision for the ministry and everything that's been happening lately. It says that we always have a vision of something before it actually becomes real to us. When we realize that the vision is real, but is not yet real in us, Satan comes to us with his temptations, and we are inclined to say there is no point in even trying to continue. Instead of the vision becoming real to us, we have entered into a valley of humiliation. And he's got a little oratory here. Life is not as idle ore, but iron dug from central gloom, and battered by the shocks of doom to shape and use. God gives us a vision, and then he takes us down to the valley to batter us into shape of that vision. It is in the valley that so many of us give up and faint. How many times you say, oh man, it ain't working out. I've tried this, I've tried that.
But you also feel, did I really hear God right?
Right. Every God-given vision will become real if we will only have patience. Just think of the enormous amount of free time God has. He is never in a hurry, yet we are always in such a frantic hurry. While still in the light of the glory of the vision, we go right out to do things. But the vision is not yet real in us. God has to take us into that valley and put us through fires and floods to batter us into shape, believe it or not, until we get the point where he can trust us with the reality of the vision. Ever since God gave us the vision, he has been at work. He is getting us into shape of the goal he has for us. And yet, over and over again, we try to escape from the sculptor's hand in an effort to batter ourselves into the shape of our own goal. The vision that God gives is not some unattainable castle in the sky, but a vision of what God wants you to be down here. Allow the potter, here it comes, allow the potter to put you on his wheel and whirl you around as he desires. Then as surely as God is God and you are you, you will turn out as an exact likeness of the vision. But don't lose heart in the process. Everybody, we're all there, and even us, sometimes, why am I doing this? There's so many obstacles. If you have ever had a vision from God, and you'll know that, you may try as you will to be satisfied on a lower level, but God will not allow that, okay? I think about when I was in high school, I went to shop. I guess it was called Me of All People. I'm going to make something, God help me. And the project was to make a chisel, okay? And they gave us this piece of iron. How do you make a pointy thing out of a hard, thick thing? You can't do that, can you? Well, you had to put that piece that we had in the furnace and heat it until it became soft, actually, and took it out, and with a mallet, I pounded that thing to a flat edge. It became usable.
Exactly.
It's a chisel now. It met its purpose now. It is what it was designed to be. God is trying to design the life we have and the vision we have, but through him. It's very important through him. We're going through this kind of thing right now where we think it's through him, or is it through him? Maybe it's through us. I don't know, the ministry, that kind of thing.
That's why you have to stay in constant contact with God. And sometimes I will go before him through my frustration, saying, Lord, I don't understand, and I know I'm not supposed to understand. I'm just to trust. I will take care of you. Trust me. Isaiah 41:10. This is my most favorite verse of all. Fear not, there is nothing to fear, for I am with you. God is telling me he's with me. He's with you. Do not look around in terror and be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen and harden you to difficulties. Yes, I will help you. God himself is saying he will help you. Yes, I will hold you up and retain you with my victorious right hand of rightness and justice.
Wow.
I mean, those are words of just pure gold. And that's a promise from God, the creator of the universe, the creator of you and me. He loves us so much. He is holding our hand with his victorious right hand. I don't care what it looks like down here, and I don't care how things look totally impossible. I know the one who has got my hand and who is going to walk me through this. The only reason, really, why I'm even on the air is because of what he told me when I was going through my breast cancer. He said, you will live and not die, but you will live to glorify me. And I love glorifying my Lord. I mean, he has me here to do that. I consider it a privilege. However the twists and turns of the road may be, I'm willing to take them. When God calls you, it is a privilege to be called of him. I mean, why he called me, I haven't a clue, because I am no educated Einstein. I just love him and I adore him. I want to go where he wants me to go, do what he wants me to do, because it is all for his glory.
In this passage here, in the utmost, it's saying too, and we feel it all the time, God gives us a vision, and then he takes us down, like I said, to the valley to batter us into the shape of that vision. It is in the valley that so many of us give up and faint. And we've felt that many times, and a lot of people just fall away. I can't take that, but that's not what you got to do. Every God-given vision will become real if we will only have patience. Patience is perseverance, spiritual perseverance. God has to take us into that valley and put us through fires and floods and batter us into shape, believe it or not. There was a news reporter who did a feature on me many years ago. Mike Thomas, the Orlando Sentinel, I guess it was. His comment was, Tony doesn't know politics, Tony doesn't know the laws, but he knows there's somebody out there starving, so he takes 5 loaves of bread and he runs out there. And he's going to feed the masses. But in running out with 5 loaves, I didn't realize that if I would have thought about it, really 10 loaves would have done it much better. And now I'm stuck here with my own thought process and didn't wait. So sometimes waiting.
We need to go before God for every step before we move.
And just remember, you can contact us. If you're in this position we're talking about right now, talk to us, email us, let us know what's going on. The vision may not be right for you at this time, and maybe you haven't asked him about it, or maybe you're thinking it's God and it's not. Just concentrate on that. But if you want, send us an email if you're in that kind of a battle, and we'll be happy to give you some guidance and advice and some encouragement, okay?
Definitely.
And if you want prayer, just pray for whatever is in your life right now. Go to the email, livingwithvictory@gmail.com. You can also write us, really, if you wanted to, P.O. Box 1982, Maggie Valley, North Carolina. There's ways of getting to us. And by the way, when you're sending us emails and things like that, just remember, we always try to get back to you. There's a listener right now. Is it Great Britain, United Kingdom? We've been trying to get to her, and it's not working. So we are trying to get back to you. If you don't hear from us, it's maybe because of a technical glitch. Try again. We're trying to get to you. All right? Your support is so needed, and we love it, and we thank you again for it. Let's continue on.
Okay, just wanted to go through Corinthians 4:8, because I know that at times we feel this way, and I'm sure there are people out there feeling this way also. We are hedged in, pressed on every side, troubled and oppressed in every way, but not cramped or crushed. We suffer embarrassments and are perplexed and unable to find a way out, but not driven to despair. Because remember, he promised to strengthen and harden us to difficulties. He promised to help us in Isaiah 41:10. And he is holding our hand with his righteous right hand. Even if you're feeling like there is no way out of my problems right now, remember God is with you, and do not listen to Satan. He is a liar when he says you are all alone and nobody cares, because God's love will never leave you. Hang on to him, and don't be afraid to go to him for every little thing. He wants to be a part of every part of your life.
It's right. And God's not there to knock you down. He's there to pick you up. The devil makes you think it's God. It's not God. It is not him. He's trying to help you. If your vision and your goal is Christ-centered, he wants to help you to get there. Just the way with us in the last, over the summer, between financial woes, the finances haven't been the way they should be. Then we end up in this car accident. We're in the midst of that. We're just hanging on to him and his word, because that's where it has to be when these kind of changes happen. Believe me, can't leave it to your own resolve.
You don't want to go through a door that he is not willing to open and come with you.
That's right.
If he's willing to do that, then you're doing it his way. Mark 11:22-24. So Jesus answered and said to them, have faith in God, for assuredly I say to you, whoever says to this mountain, be removed and be cast into the sea, and does not doubt in his heart.
Right, no doubt.
Okay, no doubt.
Thing. You can't doubt it.
And if you find yourself doubting, just quickly say, Lord, forgive my unbelief. I don't feel it right now, but I choose to believe you. But believes that those things he says will be done, he will have whatever he says. Therefore, I say to you, whatever things you ask when you pray, believe that you receive them, and you will have them.
Believe it, believe it. It's easy to say, but you've got to, in your spirit. Your Holy Spirit has to be inside there. You believe, and he'll do it. Just for instance, in all this debacle that we're into right now, trying to retool things and make things right with the ministry and dealing with this accident thing that the devil brought to us. We're still processing the gas cards to the hospitals. We still have that outreach ministry going. And it's been a little harder to get finances in for that. And lo and behold, I stop in to buy gas cards at the Shell station over here in our area. And all of a sudden, this man knew exactly what we were talking about, because he had a child going through this situation. And he traveled back and forth to transportation. He owns a gas station, can't get help. We have started, and he did it on his own. He set up a collection box at the gas station. He is now an official site to get the gas cards here, where people could go in and buy them, and I can go in and I can pick them up anytime. And he, out of his own pocket, has donated to us many times. Every time I go in, he matches me when I'm buying them.
God provides in ways that you can never even imagine.
No, you can't. We have Christina at the organic coffee bean in Maggie Valley. She's got a little canister up now, and she's in there collecting money there. All I'm saying to you is trust in him. We don't say he's your umbrella in the storm for nothing. The storms are coming at us just like they're coming at you, and we thought we have to do this program because it's important that if you have a vision and it's from God and you feel it is, don't let the devil trip you up.
Follow where he's leading you. Obey him, whether you see it or it makes sense or not. But if you know it's from him, and you will know if it's from him, if you're having a close walk with him every day and you're talking to him throughout the day, you will know that it is coming from God.
But you know how it happens? You open the manual, how to. You know, like you do when a car goes, the Bible.
Bible.
That you need to read it. And there's no excuses nowadays. Don't tell me you're busy. I understand that we're crazy busy. Yeah, we're in the business, but you have apps you can put on your phone. Take a few minutes and read the scriptures. Just absorb your mind, especially in the morning.
It's worth opening that Bible for 10 or 15 minutes in the morning, especially when you feel like you're being crushed and you feel like everything is going wrong, to find the peace that God has promised us.
We don't know where we're going right now with the way things are and the finances, and that, you know, we have to make some decisions here about the broadcasting and all of that. And that's a tough call right now on our hearts. God is leading us to whichever way this is all turning out. But he's going to lead us, and he's bringing us every step of the way. We've learned a lot over our lifetime, and that's why we're telling you at this juncture, 3/4 of a century, God, I still feel like Methuselah here. We're telling you, take the right steps. Don't think they're the right steps according to your will, your way. Be sure.
Read his word.
Read that word, and you'll be surprised how reassuring it is and how comforting. And just take a deep breath. He wants you to take that deep. Sometimes I don't. And you need to do that. And you have to balance it out. He's with you no matter what. You can't outgive God. You can't lose him. You can't. He will never lose. He knows every minute of your day. He knows where you are. He knows where to find you. So understand that. You can't play hide and seek and win.
When you're looking at your circumstances, stop that. Get your eyes on him. And keep your eyes on him, like Peter did when he was walking on the water. He was fine until he started to look at the storm. Then he started to sink. Don't look at your storm. Keep your eyes on Jesus.
And that's what Laureen has done. You know, this girl of mine, she would never get in front of a crowd. She wouldn't get in front of a microphone. We were at functions, and we used to do some pretty big functions, and I'd want to introduce her. When I turned around, she was over in the corner somewhere just waiting to me to get done, you know, with my big mouth, and she was just not into it, you might say. But this is a real miracle and a blessing from God, because what Laureen has inside of her, I still am a work in progress compared to what she's doing. But now she's giving it to you all out there, and that's what God was looking for. And he's made that possible. So, you know, if you're in that kind of a position where you're just not moving forward, and you know it's God, and it's painful to move forward, move forward.
The pain won't last forever.
No.
And God is there. There's a reason for that pain. It does make you grow. It does make you grow, and he said he will harden you to difficulties, but we can't be hardened to the difficulties if we don't go through the private ones.
Exactly. And, you know, and if you're in the valley right now and he's molding you and you're getting knocked down like we are right now, battered, just grab a hand, somebody's hand, and help them out. Get yourself off your mind. Help somebody, whatever you can do. It doesn't have to be money, a kind word, a phone call, and that will make you feel so much better. You know what? While you're at it, pray for us, because we've got a lot of big decisions coming up, financial things, the ministry, broadcasting. Pray for us. Say a prayer for Laureen and Tony to do God's will. All right, so listen, we love you, and again, we appreciate you. And this is Tony.
And Laureen.
Hey, you keep dancing in that rain. We love you. See you next week.
Help Laureen and Tony in their ministry by becoming a Living with Victory partner. You can make a donation of any amount through PayPal at livingwithvictory.org or send your check to Living with Victory, P.O. Box 1982, Maggie Valley, North Carolina, 28751. That's Living with Victory, P.O. Box 1982, Maggie Valley, North Carolina, 28751.
There's a promise coming down that dusty road, and from his holy hand, healing virtue flows. He's got the keys to what you need. Death and hell he will defeat. Oh, there's a promise coming down
You've been listening to Living with Victory with your hosts, Laureen and Tony Giorgio, who for over 30 years have advocated for seriously ill children through Compassion Children's Foundation, today known as Living with Victory Ministries. Support for this radio ministry and our outreach programs comes from listeners like you. Many families who have children that require daily treatments for their illness are extremely challenged to get those life-saving treatments due to the cost of getting there. Our Fuel for Life outreach supplies gas cards to these families at 4 children's hospitals, including Arnold Palmer Hospital in Orlando. We've also given away over 2,000 of Laureen's CD, Test of Faith, to breast cancer patients, documenting her own struggle with cancer, giving hope and encouragement through her experience and faith. You can support our programs by sending your tax-deductible donations to Living with Victory, P.O. Box 1982, Maggie Valley, North Carolina, 28751. Podcasts of this and other Living with Victory programs are available at livingwithvictory.org. Thanks for listening.